Chapter 9 Food Pests. This chapter explains how food pests can spread food poisoning bacteria, methods of deterring pests, and the dangers of allowing even the friendliest pets into a food preparation area. Let's go and find the guys who are back in the kitchen to find out more.
We're now going to talk to you about something in your food business that's extremely nasty. You're never more than a couple of metres from a rat, did you know that? But today, Nick, a couple of inches. We've done that joke before, haven't we?
It's still a great joke.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, now, before we get started, have a think about this. Why are EHOs so bothered about food pests, and what is the threat they pose? Hopefully you're thinking of the two words, and they both begin with C.
Ah, cross-contamination, yes.
Ah, that's right, cross-contamination. Pests are attracted to anywhere that food is stored, prepped, sold, served, and as importantly, thrown away. They can enter buildings through open windows and doors and even the smallest, tiniest cracks in walls and around pipes. And once they're inside, they can and will cross-contaminate every single thing in your business. Remember, vehicles of cross-contamination, these are super mobile vehicles of contamination. It's important to remember that your premises offer everything that a pest is ever going to need, and that's food, moisture, warmth, and also shelter.
How true, Nick. I was in a food hall the other day, and there's a couple of pigeons flying around in this food hall, and they were landing on absolutely everything. Talk about cross-contamination and being mobile, yeah?
Oh.
Tell you what, they wouldn't starve to death, would they? No wonder they want to get in then, Nick. So what kind of pests are we talking about here?
Okay.
Nasty?
Yeah, very. Seriously nasty. We're talking about mice, rats, crawling insects, flies, birds, and even foxes.
Now, many pests inhabit some pretty unhygienic places where they can pick up pathogenic bacteria. Some pests also have pathogenic bacteria living inside their bodies. So these can be spread to food from their droppings or through their saliva as they eat. As well as spreading food poisoning bacteria, pests spread foodborne diseases such as dysentery and Weevils disease. Did you know, Nick, that rats' teeth never ever stop growing?
I didn't actually.
Yeah, that's why they're always gnawing at something to help keep them short. Rats can chew through pretty much anything. Electric cables, gas, water pipes, and do you know what? Even, believe it or not, cement or concrete.
So they're pretty vicious creatures, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
And they're desperately trying to get into your business, aren't
No,
they?
indeed.
Okay, so let's have a look at some of the main suspects, shall we? Now, one of the worst ones, you might not think this, is a fly. Flies are particularly horrible creatures because they literally will throw up onto the food, the stomach acid starts to dissolve the food, then they re-eat it, then they go to the next and throw up again, and the next and throw up again. A fly can typically land on 400 or 500 pieces of meat or chicken if they were left out within a day, so they're quite nasty. Interestingly, if you actually saw something like a cockroach in your business, a customer saw a cockroach, they kind of go, I'm not eating it here. But quite often you'll see a fly maybe around a sugar bowl or a condiment bowl and you'll flick it away. The flies are worse, they really are.
They are. Next one, wasps. Also nasty, can sting you, can't they? Don't want one of those either stinging you. But again, they can cross-contaminate, go on things like jams and sugars and then spread anything else they've got on their feet and wings onto other parts of your food business.
We used to work for a jam company at one stage, didn't we?
Yeah.
And within 50 miles of the jam factory, they used to put advertisements in the local papers and would give a reward for anybody who had a wasp nest on the property. They would literally come from over 50 miles to the actual jam factory when it was cooking, didn't they?
Yeah, they would, attracted by that sweet-smelling nectar.
Okay, the next one. What's that, Marcus?
That's a weevil, Nick. I expect you to know the answer to that.
Weevils wobble.
Right, weevils wobble. So weevils, things like little tiny things, can hardly see them sometimes, like little black dots, but will get in lots of things like your flowers and anything that's stored like this. So what else, Nick, apart from flour?
I don't know.
Mainly flowers. Mainly flowers.
Any dry powdered products such as that, they can get into very, very quickly, and you will see the telltale signs in it, so just be careful. Great way of keeping them out. They can't get into that. Another one, ants. Ants are an amazing creature because you'll never see an ant in the business. Drop a piece of food on the floor, and within about 10 minutes, there's about 3,000 ants heading towards it. Don't know where they come from.
Amazing.
They are quite difficult to get rid of, and to be honest, if you do have an issue with ants, make sure you keep the food especially free from any food debris, but get a specialist contractor in for ants. They're not the easiest things to get rid of, are they?
You know, what's this one then? You think
That's a cockroach.
Nasty cockroach, often found in dirty kitchens. Yeah, again, a great insect for spreading cross-contamination.
Yeah.
Walking over things, moving over dirty drains, horrible.
Nocturnal animals, you'll probably never see them, but you may smell them, because a dead cockroach smells of
almonds.
So if you get a sweet, sickly smell in your kitchen, you don't know what it is, make sure you check under your cookers and fridges, because there may be some dead cockroaches.
Or check that you haven't burnt the Battenberg cake.
That was a good point. Remember the last time you burnt a Battenberg cake?
Well, Battenberg's made with marzipan, which has got almonds in, hasn't it, Nick?
It has, but when was the last time you cooked one?
Oh, no, I didn't.
It's alright. Anyway, okay, what a cute little creature.
Mouse, the
What
common
beautiful
doorstep mouse.
mouse. Again, they are unbelievably difficult to stop getting into a business. The tiniest of crack they'll squeeze through to get in, won't they? They will gnaw on cardboard boxes. They will attempt to get into any food product. They don't tend to climb, so most of it will be at floor level. That's why a good reason is to actually store anything a good 6 inches off the floor to try and prevent them. But they will cross anywhere into the kitchen and they'll eat anything they can get their hands on, can't they?
Yeah, they're going to have mouse droppings all over the place. Horrible. You're going to have fur. Horrible. Horrendous cross-contamination again.
And the next one is, again, most people don't like rats. Vicious, big, horrible, smelly creature. I don't like rats.
Who's saying there's a rat in my kitchen?
There's a rat in my kitchen.
It was UB40, wasn't it, Nick?
It's good. And most of our viewers will not know who UB40 is because you're probably too young. Great group.
Go check it out.
Yeah.
Go and listen to.
Yes, rats, as Marcus said, they will literally go through floorboards of concrete walls to get into it. Rats love anywhere under a kitchen.
Yeah.
For the simple fact is they offer warmth and shelter. Also, as Marcus quite rightly said, the teeth keep growing. So if a rat doesn't gnaw on something, the teeth will grow through the top lip and kill them. So
do you remember that customer we used to work with on rats that used to kill the rats? Do you remember what he used to do? Kill the rats with a... Go on, tell me.
Yeah, we used to deal with quite a very well-known drinks manufacturer within the UK, and one of the production sites was next to a river, quite a large river again in the UK, as it will be. And they employed one man with a stainless steel shovel to go around, and he was, "I killed the rats," and he used to chop their heads off with a silver stainless steel shovel and then throw them back in the river again. Please don't do that. Get a proper pest contractor, and it's not the best thing for your business, is it?
Not indeed. Right, the next one from me, one of my favourites, cute little fox. Hate seeing them when they're on the road and being knocked down by cars. I really do. There was two on my lawn the other day, actually, just playing around on my lawn. It was lovely to watch about midnight at night. But in the guise of food hygiene, they are a big cross-contaminator because they can get food out of bins, push it all around.
Yes.
Yeah, again, fur, urine, feces, awful.
Yeah, exactly. And they're big enough and strong enough to actually tip bins over. So again, proper secure bins with closable lids.
Yeah.
That's the best thing. If you live in a city, there's a lot of city foxes nowadays, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
They're being forced in to look for food in the cities.
Yeah.
Right, now, there's just two left here, and this is Marcus's most hated. This is the one thing that's going to give him nightmare. He will not sleep tonight when he sees this.
Well, actually, that's not strictly true because there's a picture of a pigeon on there. But a few years ago, when I lived at one of my other houses, I used to get the milk still delivered, and I got really, really bad foodborne disease, Campylobacter, because a pigeon had pecked the top of my milk bottle, trying to drink out the cream, and had cross-contaminated my milk with Campylobacter, which I then had on my Rice Krispies. Touch of brown sugar on there. Didn't make any difference, did it? Because I got really ill for 6 weeks. 6 whole weeks! What can one pigeon do? Next one from you, Nick.
I don't know what to say after that, do you, to be perfectly honest. The best way to prevent pigeons getting into your business is obviously chains at the doors. And nowadays you'll see on window ledges and pipes the little kind of the plastic spikes to actually stop them landing and nesting there.
That's right.
In fairness, they're pretty easy to spot, but as Mark's quite rightly said, they can spread a lot of bacteria very quickly.
Without you even knowing it as well.
Without even knowing it. And the last one is, it's my favourite animal, and I have one of these, don't I?
You do indeed.
I have one, not in the kitchen. A dog. The reason for saying that is, within your home environment, you may have a cat or a dog, and you may let it eat in the kitchen. You may have its water and its food bowl in the kitchen, and you don't mind that. And you might stroke it, and you might carry on cooking, washing. This is a commercial kitchen. You cannot do that. If you do have some animals, you share your business with your house, they can't come in your commercial kitchen. Don't feed them in it. And if you do pet them, make sure you wash your hands before anything else.
Absolutely. And when Nick said pet them, he kind of meant pat them. Anyway, here's a question for you, just to wrap up this little bit. If you were to see a pest, what would be the first thing that you would do?
Stroke it.
No. And hopefully you'll be saying, Marcus and Nick, the first thing I'd do would be to tell my supervisor or my boss. That's always the thing you must do before you do absolutely anything else. Always tell your supervisor, remember that due diligence word. Actually, due diligence, you'll be ahead of us, is 2 words. You make sure you report it, and you won't be getting a fine, will you, Nick?
Exactly. And next up, we're going to be talking about preventing pest access to your premises.
Right then, let's take a look at how we can keep those pesky little blighters out. Effective pest control involves protecting your premises so pests can't gain access. Now, this is referred to as denial of access or proofing. Please make sure you know that, because you'll probably get a question on that in the exam. Now, you've got to protect food from contamination and take any swift, safe action to deal with any infestation that occurs. Also, your employer has got to make sure that your workplace is designed and equipped to keep those pesky pests out. Now, you can play your part in preventing problems by following these very simple rules. Keep food covered at all times. Store food off the floor in suitable containers. Never leave food outside. Check all your deliveries carefully, the veg, the fruit, cereals and grain, and the packaging about those. Check stored goods regularly and make sure that you rotate the stock. Report any signs of damage, any torn, pierced or gnawed packaging. Store waste food in bins with securely fitting lids. Keep all your door and window screens closed, and always remember, tell your supervisor if you see any holes in any brickwork or around windows, doors or pipes. So remember to maintain a clean workplace, paying special attention to food prep areas, to stores, to drains, to gullies and to bin areas, and always remember to clean as you go. Make sure you clean up any spilled food immediately. Deny pests entry and deny them any source of food in order to discourage them from trying to get into your food premises. Next up, we're going to have a look at evidence of a problem. I'm now going to go and set this bait box up.
Bait box deployed, Marcus.
Thank you for that, Barry.
High five.
Now then, you need to look for evidence of signs of pest infestation. The back of me here, I've got some greasy marks on the wall, and this is the corridor between our kitchen and our dry stores. So that would suggest to me that there might be rats or mice in here. And obviously we want to try and stop them from coming in, but if they come in, we need to do something about it. So look for evidence first. It might be dead bodies, it might be droppings, it might be hair from rats and mice, it might be pupae from insects, it might be bird feathers. If you see any evidence, you need to tell your supervisor. And what you also then need to do is get a specialist pest contractor in who knows a bit about these bait boxes and also knows what to do with rodenticide that is actually in here. Something else you might use is an electric fly killer as well. That's it from me on this chapter. Make sure you look at the recap questions and Next chapter, chapter 10, is all about premises and equipment.